Hello everyone, in today's episode of Clash Royale and Tabs, we're going to be doing a tournament using the original 24 cards. I know it's sort of hard to read, but here are each of the blocks, just the matches that are going to happen. And because there's only 24 cards, only 2 fights in each block will actually happen until round 2. Each match will be a best of 3 to ensure no random shenanigans happen. And this entire tournament is just so I can get a better sense on how the balance of the game currently is. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our first match. And we're off. The first match in the tournament is going to be Musketeer versus Skeletons. Skeleton's just getting super close and whacking on her. Okay. Yeah, Musketeer cannot shoot people close range. Yeah, that looks about right. Alright, again, every match is a best out of 3 just to make sure no random shenanigans happen. And we're going to move the Skeletons back to give the Musketeer a more fair chance. However, that does not matter. And Musketeer is your first unit knocked out of the tournament. And now we have the Firecracker versus Dark Goblin. Yeah, this is gonna be a wash. I mean, Firecracker just does crazy damage. Dark Goblin has no HP, and yeah, he's stuck, isn't he? He's stuck in. Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's just go ahead and end that game. Onto the Firecracker misses. Okay, Dark Goblin's just sneaking his way on in there. Will he get a single shot off? Maybe. He's getting... Nope. One shot. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Man, Dark Goblin is such a good unit, too. RIP. And now we have the Wizard versus the Goblins. Wizard getting a couple shots off. The damage is not splashing very well, unfortunately for the Wizard. Wow, they have to be basically touching. They have to be, like, merged almost to get the splash damage off. This is very unfortunate for the Wizard. Yeah, no, it looks like he's going to lose, which is quite unfortunate. And, yeah, it's the Wizard's out. And now we have the Guards versus the Magic Archer. Guards have a very good advantage with the shields. However, maybe the lightning arrows hits through the shields, but it doesn't even matter because the Magic Archer is so bad he's not going to be able to get a single shot off with the Skeletons up close. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove bow and arrows completely and just have them throw the arrows instead, which will make Princess hard to balance, but it makes Magic Archer not useless. So maybe I'll just do it for the Magic Archer and keep the Princess the same, but he is looking like the worst unit in the entire game currently. Like, he cannot do a thing. Sure, the Musketeer can't either, but at least he does a bunch of damage from range. He just does actually nothing. Pretty unfortunate, I actually quite like the Magic Archer in Clash Royale. However, in this game, he is just outright useless and gets absolutely destroyed by everyone. And now we have the Archers versus the Spear Goblins. This should be a quick one. Archers do a decent bit of damage, and Spear Goblins have no HP. I think Spear Goblins might need a buff. Boom. Yeah, they do like 1/8 of the Archer's HP each shot, maybe, and get 2-tapped. That's pretty awful. Rest in peace, the Spear Goblins. This has got to be the most unfortunate matchup the Ice Wizard could ever hope for, because with the new Boss Bandit rework, she just assassin poofs in, and there is actually nothing he can do besides freeze her, and he still does no damage. Even after the damage buff, he does actually nothing to the Boss Bandit. He's gonna need another buff, but he just absolute war. She just backhanded him with a baseball bat. That's unreal. Yeah, she is groveling at his feet right now. Kind of funny. Yeah, all Ice Wizard can really do is just stall. Like in a 2v2 league, he would go crazy. Like if he had a good partner, like E-Barbs or Mega Knight, I mean, they would go absolutely stupid. You just take out one unit, and as long as you're not getting swarm units, he would go crazy. But here he gets absolutely destroyed, does actually no damage to the boss bandit. Probably the most one-sided fight so far. And now we have everyone's favorite unit, the princess, going against the bomber, who does not have enough range. If he had more range, I think he'd actually stand a better chance here. But the princess just outranges him and kills him in like I think it's actually 3 hits. The fire does almost enough damage to 2-shot him, but yeah, easy win for the princess there. Okay, and here we have quite possibly the most balanced matchup of likely the entire tournament. We have Mini P.E.K.K.A. versus Elite Barbarians. It's looking relatively even so far. Now, this is something I didn't know until this fight. Units can actually damage their own teammates that I did know. However, they have to hit the enemy and their teammate in the same, like, attack. So if you have a splash damage, like a bomb, to do damage to your teammate, you also have to be hitting an enemy at the same time, which is very interesting. How I discovered that is the E-Barbs were constantly hitting each other, and then a couple times they would hit the other E-Barb and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. at the same time. So that's a interesting discovery, if you didn't know that. But unfortunately, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. just loses. 2 E-Barbs is too many E-Barbs for the Mini P to handle. Oh man, yikes. And that is going to be all of round 1 completed. Now here are the new standings, or matchups, for round number 2. Now I will promise that I didn't rig this tournament in any sort of way, but I do think the 8 cards that I gotta buy, or like a skip to the second round, are going to destroy everyone else. The reason why they gotta skip to the second round is because they were the 8 highest ranking cards during their showcases, which means they were the 8 best cards whenever they released. And now, get ready for round 2. Starting round 2 off right, we have the Mega Knight versus those poor skeletons. What are their names? Larry, Terry, and Jerry, I think. Against Big Boy MK. Yeah, this was... Honestly, like, the skeletons were kind of hanging on. I guess the Mega Knight might actually need a buff, which is kind of crazy to say. I think we could nerf his HP again, but buff his damage output, because it's kind of sad how weak he is. He's not even the Mega Knight, he's just the knight that punches and jumps. Inaccurately jumps at that, jeez. He can't even one-shot skeletons, it's kind of sad. I think he's 2-shotting, maybe even 3-shotting them. I think it depends on where he punches them and with what part of his hand he punches them with. Headshot! Up next, we have the Firecracker versus the P.E.K.K.A. Get yourself some popcorn, folks, because this is one of the longest fights of the entire tournament. I woke up from my nap as oh, finally it's over, P.E.K.K.A. wins. And now we have the newly reworked Executioner. And can I just say, he is so much better at doing what his job is, and that is clearing out swarms. And he can actually do that now. I am so glad I chose to rework this card. It is now probably one of my favorite cards currently in the game, because he actually does what he's supposed to do. I don't know why he didn't have the Radiant Glaive before. I'm just slow, I guess. Talk about an unfair fight. We have 3 dead soldiers versus 6 alive soldiers. Sure, the 3 dead soldiers have shields, but I mean, it's still, 2 times the amount of units, and they're stronger because they're halflings instead of, or whatever they're called, instead of stiffies, so you have more HP, and they do more damage, and they don't have a shield anymore because they got nerfed because they were too OP. But yeah, this is just not even fair whatsoever. It's a 6v3 essentially. They're the same exact unit almost. So yeah, obviously Royal Recruits are going to sweep them. And now we have the Giant versus the Archers. I actually thought this fight was going to be like 6.5 business days long. But fortunately, the Archers just stood there and didn't walk away like every other ranged unit in this entire game does. Yeah, the Giant's gonna take that one with, oh my god, what is she doing? Anyways, pardon that. We have also one of the longest matches. We have Valk versus Boss Bandit. And this match just really shows that even after the Boss Bandit rework, she still is not good. Mind you, she has 6 elixir. 6 elixir. Valk is 4. And Valkyrie's just dog walking her. Sorry, dog spinning her. Sorry, axe spinning her. Sorry, let me rephrase that again. She is Valkyrie, axe spinning her. None of that made sense, and I apologize for it. But yeah, the Boss Bandit, still not a very good unit. I need to quit doing the thing because it's probably annoying. Yeah, that was just annoying. I apologize. Yeah, Valk is going to take this one home. And these matches, like I said, I wanted them all to be best of 3 just to make sure no shenanigans happen. But some of these fights are genuinely so long. I don't know a soul that would want to sit here and watch this match twice over to make sure nothing weird happened. Like, look at the HP differential. This was not close at all. Valkyrie put Boss Bandit on a leash and took her on a walk around the park. Why would I watch that fight twice over? Alright, and now we have everyone's favorite, the bully, against everyone's second favorite, the princess. Oh my god, she just got embarrassed. Look at that kill cam. Oh man, me personally, I'd go home and never show my face to the public again if I just got embarrassed like that. But the princess does outrange the bowler. The bowler actually has to walk up quite a lot. However, he has a lot of HP. He might actually need an HP nerf based on his performance, but embarrassed again. Look at that head in the sand. Whew. Anyways, on to the last match of round 2. We have E-Barbs versus Expo. And can I just say, this match actually triggered me so much because we just buffed Expo and I looked at all the stats thoroughly and thought everything was okay. However, I could not have been more wrong. Because just watch this next like 10 seconds here. carefully. He just slid up a wall! It's a building! That's not fair! It's not supposed to be like that! So yeah, after this tournament, Expo's getting a major nerf. We're gonna have to give him some ability that causes him to stand still, because this is just annoying. And to absolutely no one's surprise, every single fighter that got a bye to the second round is the fighter that won. And like I said, they are just the best units. That's why, but these are your top 8 folks. Get ready for round 3, because it's going to be a fun round. I'm really rooting for Executioner and probably Bowler, I think. Those are my 2 favorites right now. But go ahead and get yourself prepared for round number 3. And up first, we have the age-old matchup. Mega Knight versus P.E.K.K.A. And now I'm just going to say, for future reference, any match that's longer than 1 minute for like just one single, because it's like a best out of 3, so if the first game is 1 minute or longer, that's just going to be it, because I am not sitting through 2, potentially even 3 minutes of a single match. That would make this video like 2 hours long. It would make it like an hour and a half long if every single round was a minute long, and it was 3 fights also. Yeah, P.E.K.K.A. actually putting in major BTA, which, like we said earlier, Mega Knight doesn't do much damage. He just has a decent bit of HP, whereas P.E.K.K.A., if she lands those sword swings, I guess, she does pretty good damage. And I'm glad to see that Mega Knight isn't going to win again. And now we have the reworked Executioner versus these gosh darn royal recruits that I think actually did win. It wasn't a tournament, but it was like a strongest character during the beta of this. And Executioner is just destroying them. Actually no effort whatsoever. I'm glad to see that recruits aren't just going to win, but then again, they did have shields at the time, and now they don't. And Exy actually has a usable weapon now, which makes him a usable unit, and he is just going to, I mean, toss his way into the 4th round with little to no effort, and I'm very glad to see that, because this is one of my favorite reworks of all time, and I did it, which is crazy. Not even glazed myself. But now we have the snooze fest, I mean, Giant versus Valk. Yeah, have fun watching this for 2 minutes, because I certainly didn't. Oh my god, Giant. Oh my god, Valkyrie's on the floor. Giant's punching in. Oh no, they're both on the floor. Oh my god, Valkyrie swings and misses. She's back on the floor. Oh no, look, she's back on the floor again. Oh no, Giant, swing and a miss. Oh no, Valkyrie's on the floor. Oh my god, they're both on the floor again. Oh my god, look, Valkyrie's on the floor. Part 347. Oh, she stands back up. And back on the floor. Stands back up. And back on the floor. Oh, and Giant's on top of her now. Okay. And, oh, look, she's back on the floor. Oh, and they're both back on the floor. Gee. There's so many characters that just fall over. It's actually annoying. Look, back on the floor again. I mean, how many times is it going to happen? This was probably the longest fight of the entire tournament. And it's just 2 orange hair people swinging at each other and missing 90% of the time, and then falling on the floor for 3 seconds. And then getting back up just to fall back onto the floor. It's pain. It's like putting bleach in my eyes. Almost. I guess that physically hurts me, whereas this almost physically hurts me. This mentally. It's like, why? I'm spending 2 minutes of my life watching this. If that makes sense, I don't know. But then that would mean if you're watching at this point in the video, you're probably thinking the same thing. But I'm not complaining. Yeah, this match was so boring. Like, unexplainably boring. Like, I would rather watch, like, the same movie 5 times in a row than watch this for the equivalent time. I'd rather watch 10 hours worth of the same movie than watch 10 hours this fight. I mean, actually, that makes complete sense. That was a terrible analogy. Just kill each other already. It's not that hard. It is not that. Thank you. And on to the final match of the of round 4. We have stand still and do nothing except throw a boulder one time against spam arrow guy. Sorry, I meant Bowler versus Expo. Bowler, he literally just does nothing. He just stands there and does actually nothing. He's just a pin cushion. It's sad. It's sad. Like, Bowler just got a rework. He was meant to be, like, one of the best probably not one of the best, but he was meant to be up there. But he just like, that's not even that far away. But he just stand there and takes the arrows. Like, I understand aura, but that right there is not aura. Getting straight destroyed is not aura. So I moved him closer, figuring that would help. I mean, he just donked on him right there, but it actually did no damage, and then he misses. And then, oh, that did no damage. But that, what? I guess to get the damage off with the new boulder, the bowling ball has to hit the ground, and the unit has to be standing inside the splash radius. And right there he wasn't, so he did no damage, and the Expo is just going to outright demolish him. If Expo wins this tournament, I am going to nerf him into the ground. Again. No, I'm kidding. He's just going to make it to where he can't move because buildings just shouldn't move. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your top 4. First, we have P.E.K.K.A. I am just happy to see Mega Knight not being here. But if P.E.K.K.A. won, I would not be mad. And then we have Executioner. Let's go, my boy. My boy. If Exy wins, I will be ecstatic. But if Giant wins, I'm like impartial to Giant winning. If he wins, I don't really care. So long as this hot garbage cheater of a card Expo doesn't win, I will be okay. Die, Expo. And let the top 4 commence. For every previous round, we recorded the entire round, then did voiceovers. So it wasn't live, but this round, we decided to change that. Because Exy stunlocks P.E.K.K.A. She's too slow, she can't get up, she can't move. She takes the knockback, and then if he hits her in the chest and up, she falls over. Executioner fans, you should be cheering right now. And I'm cheering alongside you. Because after this rework, Exy went from an average unit to one of my favorites. Not only one of my favorites, but likely one of your favorites. I don't know about that. But he went from an average unit, I think he was like 11 and 13 in his showcase, which was like middle of the pack. But now he's top 2 out of the beta units. At least in the tournament format. If he had to face Mega Knight, he probably would have lost. But he beat P.E.K.K.A. He destroyed P.E.K.K.A. We even moved P.E.K.K.A. closer, and she still can't do anything. Exy is him. Executioner is the GOAT. I don't know what else to say. Executioner fans, you should be cheering right now. I mean, hands in the air, screaming of joy. I mean, just look at him do his thing. Ever since he got rid of that Olerax and got the Radiant Glaive, I mean, he has been thriving. He and his fans have been eating well. Eating like absolute millionaires, man. How did he miss that? Come on now. I don't know if I'm just glazing, but like he is genuinely just a very good unit now. And I feel like nerfing him would like obviously the ability to stunlock P.E.K.K.A. is not balanced at all. But it's just this game's physics are so bad, it's hard to work around it. But Exy just beat P.E.K.K.A. hitless, by the way. Not a single hit. Not one. Alright, I just want to clarify that this one match is like an eighth of the video. If you don't want to see this 4-minute match, skip to like the 29-minute mark, because this is genuinely boring. It's just cheesy Expo walking away, even though it's a building, so there will not be any commentary. That's a lie. It is my job. Well, not my job. It is my hobby to make videos. Therefore, it is my hobby to commentate. Giant literally just cannot do a thing. I mean, Expo just going hitless here. Not even, like, he doesn't even stand a chance. Alright, and this is why ranged units aren't as fun as close range units. Yes, I do love Exy. Well, I wouldn't say love. I really like Exy because of the rework, and it made him a cool guy. But it's like there's just something about pulling out the sword or the spear and just fighting each other with the sword and the spear. Giant goes down. 0 to 1. I need Giant to lock in here, because Xe can just unlock the Giant just like the Expo's doing. So we're going to move the Expo a bit closer, not cheating. That was stated in the rules that have not been mentioned until now. If it is a close and or long range fighter, and the long range fighter wins, the long range or the close range fighter will be moved in as close as possible. That is totally a rule. It just wasn't put into the video. There are very few rules. That is one of them. Another rule is like if a unit falls off due to backing up, that is a loss. If a unit falls off due to chasing down a backing up unit, that is not a loss, because the backing up unit is just a coward, and we don't like cowards. Wait, hang on. The Expo's stuck. Hang on, he's stuck. Giant, get in there. Get in there. Get him! Yeah! Giant, get him! Oh, yeah. Punch him in the ass. Punch him in the butt. I don't care. Just beat him. Oh yeah, putting him in a headlock and punch him in the chest. That's what we like to see. That's a giant right there. That's a giant right there. Boom! Boom! Oh yeah, give him the 1-2. Stay in that corner, Expo. We're actually gonna move the giant even closer, because everyone hates Expo and no one wants to see Expo in the final. If you like Expo in this game, at least, I don't like you. But if you like Expo in Clash Royale, you're probably a very skilled player, because Expo is pretty hard to play, at least in my personal opinion. It's either you have the best matchups or the worst matchups. It's like it's always 0 to 100 or 100 to 0. Actually, no, I feel like it's always 0 to 100 or like 50-50. But yeah, Giant is actually just demolishing him now. Oh yeah, look at him fall over. He looks like a child in the face of this giant. Look at that, missing all his shots. Boom, 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 right in the face. Oh yeah, we all hate Expo around here. We all hate Expo around here. Yeah! Xe versus Giant in the finals. Two warriors fought their way hard to make it to the finals. Fighting out of the red corner, we have the Executioner. And fighting out of the blue corner, we have the Giant. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Executioner versus Giant. On the bridge. I was gonna do Final Destination, but some characters in this game don't know how to walk, so we did bridge instead. And Giant, look at Giant, bro. Why is Giant walking like that? He's just like neck crooked. He's tiptoeing, and Xy's just gonna go ahead and get started early. Hey, he came this far. He's not going home with the silver. All right, he was an underdog And he's gonna take the first round because Giant can't get up. Exy was an underdog. He was not meant to be here. Okay? If Mega Knight had just matched into the same pool as Exy, Exy would not be here. If Valk, I think Valk would have beaten. I think Boss Bandit would have beaten him. Executioner was not meant to win this tournament, but he defied fate, or whatever you want to call it, and he wins easily. But we're going to do a third round because Giant did kind of die to falling off the map shenanigans. But I mean, this is just an absolute wash. Did Exy take a single hit in like the entire tournament? I actually don't know. But I can say, after hours of recording this video and editing, I am proud. I'm proud of my execution. I am proud of the work that I've put into this video. And I am proud of this Tabs and Clash Royale and Tab series. And I can say I am excited to release this update with Executioner being the #1 beta unit. Sorry. And then for the version 1 characters, they're kind of still being worked on. But next video will be the version 1 video, which is basically just 24 characters was the beta, now there's 30 characters. So yeah, and they're all pretty broken, so that's I mean, this is Clash Royale, right? They should be broken. So that's what the Clash Royale devs do. But yeah, this was the final tournament of the beta characters, or exclusively of beta characters, and your winner is the Executioner. His name is the Executioner for a reason.